The YouTube legend, the matpat, is leaving YouTube. This is gonna be a sad video. Anyways, hey, my name is Yali. I'm back, and today we're gonna be reacting to matpat leaving YouTube, and this is gonna be so sad because he's the one who inspired me to do a lot of videos. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about this, about reacting to one of my favorite YouTubers, my best YouTubers leaving YouTube. I mean, I don't know what to say, but let's just get into it.
It's not clickbait. On March 9th, I will be hosting my
March
last
9th?
Theory episode.
That was
At which
yesterday.
point, I'll be handing off the channels to someone else.
Channels? You mean like game theory, film theory, and
Send tweet.
food theory and
That's all you need to know,
style
right?
theory channels? You're gonna give them
Oh, wow.
away to
Forgive
somebody
me, by the
else?
way, if I'm a little bit more disorganized than usual. Normally,
yeah, but
I
why? I don't understand
something
why.
like this pretty precisely. But with an announcement like this, I wanted to bring it back to just us. There's no one else in the room. There's no teleprompters. There's no nothing. It's just the way that this whole thing started. It's a conversation between us.
Then who the fuck is holding the camera?
Sorry that I keep getting emotional about this.
I think he
I'll
put
try
it
not
on
to,
something
but
or
it's
a
a big
table.
deal. You know, like, if you think about it, this channel is Steph and my first child, really. Before we had Ollie, before we had Skip.
If you don't know who's Ollie,
it was this.
He's
This was our baby.
his son.
This channel has been going for 13 years. I think in total,
yeah,
it's somewhere around
then
like
why are you leaving it?
1,200 theories, and only half of those are FNAF. Shocking. I know we actually did stuff that wasn't.
Yeah,
FNAF
you
related,
do FNAF a lot.
But this has been a literal third of my life, and I'm gonna miss you.
Then why are you leaving?
I'm gonna miss this. I value what we have here.
Then why?
This conversation, this openness.
Why?
This relationship that we share. And I'm sad that I won't
don't
be able to see
understand
you
why.
every week. Which then I guess prompts the question of like, why?
Yes.
Why am I doing this now?
Finally.
Why am I making this
Please
announcement
answer.
today? Why am I walking away from the channels? Well, to be honest, it was Tom Scott. You can blame Tom Scott. Tom just did his farewell video, and I'm like, well, he was able to do it. I want to be able to fly away in a helicopter. Obviously, that's not it.
Wait, what?
But
so,
really,
a YouTuber is leaving YouTube so he wants to do the same thing that doesn't make any sense.
Probably largely the same as Tom's Reasons, or Seth Everman's, or Captain Sparkles, or Papa Meats, or Stampy Longheads. Like, there's a lot of these videos that are coming out these days. And there's
but I mean, I don't think I want to ever leave my YouTube channel. I want to keep doing videos until I die. Until I get buried in my grave.
We didn't know exactly when it would fall, but we knew it was going to happen eventually. That's why over the last couple years we've been staffing up so much. That's why we partnered with a larger company to help run the channels. That's why we've been spending so much time outside of this box training up the team to make the best videos that they can. Because we knew that we couldn't do this forever. We knew that, honestly, we didn't want to do this forever. For as much as I love you, and I love overthinking things, and I love theorizing, I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade, where I'm sitting down at dinner with my best friend, and we're talking about business logistics.
Yeah, but please don't leave, please.
I miss the days
Beg
where
you.
I could just sit down on the couch with her and play video games, and it's not for content. Or
on GT Live.
I'm thinking about what theories are going to come out of that. I miss it. So that's a big reason. That was right there.
If you're gonna miss it, why? Just why? It's not like if you saw one of the YouTubers leaving YouTube, you want to do the same thing. That doesn't make any sense, bro.
And I watch him, and he is so much fun, and he is so much smarter than I was when I was his age. He also probably knows the FNAF lore better than I do, which is a problem that I should probably address at some point.
Wait, what?
But honhonestly,
your son knows more lore than you?
Another sad fact of the matter is I'm getting older. I'm 30.
Never mind.
Now.
Never mind.
The other day, I actually had to Google my own age. And you know that when you have to start like doing math in your head to calculate how old you are over the hill, my friends. Though to be fair, to my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there.
Oh my God, please don't leave.
Toilet. Then again, maybe that's the problem, right? Like,
I mean, Skibidi Toilet's not something that bad. I mean, I did 2 videos on my YouTube channel about Skibidi Toilet. I did like the FNF one and the one that I reacted to it. It was like 40 minutes.
The day that you stop uploading and you're like, I'm done, or you just keep uploading videos from now until the heat death of the universe, and you watch as your relevance slowly dies or your passion slowly dies. And for me and my journey in this place, I always wanted to go out on a high note. And when you stop and look at the last year, this has been the best year in the theorist lifespan ever. Like, no joke. It is our highest view year. It is
theorist
the year where we won style theory and immediately put our foothold in a brand new space, and that took off, and now we're one of the top style and fashion channels on YouTube, and that kind of completes the trifecta of, we now have a top channel in
That's all the 4 theories. I mean, 4 channels.
Really has
game theory, film theory, food theory, and
where I was able to
style
meet you guys
theory.
At our Broadway show. I was able to play at the PGA and show that, hey, YouTubers aren't particularly good at golf, but they can make your event relevant for like
I'm not good at golf.
It was also the year that I got to host the Streamy Awards.
And I ain't good at golf.
I mean, to be fair, the Streamy Awards are always a little bit cringe, but it was the right amount of cringe. When I pull up videos of all my favorite creators and I watch them, and all of a sudden I start hearing people just casually dropping, that's just a theory.
It's just a theory, a game theory.
Now, this is just a theory, people.
At the end of the day, it's just a game theory.
That's just a theory.
A game theory.
Also,
Wait.
a lot of lore, so if you're a big theory head, proceed at your own risk.
I did not know about this theory.
That's a theory.
That right there, that is incredible. That's the note that I want to leave on. And that's how you just know it's the right time. All of those reasons coming together, saying, hey, this is the moment. And that's hard to say, because change is scary. Change is hard.
I know.
But sometimes the right decision isn't the easy decision. The easy decision would just be to carry on doing this and do FNAF part 332. But that wouldn't be the right decision. I think the best way to explain it is with a video game analogy. Feels appropriate, right? Whoa, it's game theory. Ha! Did it. Check the game part.
I didn't even hear what you said. Anyways.
Earthbound. I think I've made it pretty clear over the years that is, without question, my favorite game of all time. Sans' Nest, all that, you're all familiar with that. But what you might not be familiar with at this point is how the game ends. At the end of Earthbound, after you save the world, everything opens up to you. You can revisit every single location that you've been to. You can talk to every NPC that you met on your journey. And it's this incredible moment as a gamer. You see just how many lives have been impacted thanks to your journey. And then after spending as much time as you want talking to all those people, you end up back home. You go back to where it all began, where you were just a kid waking up in bed and starting your adventure. And even though your mom's there and your dog's there and your weird telephone dad's there, it feels different somehow. Like, sure, this is still a place of acceptance and comfort.
I think I understand what he means.
But you just don't quite fit.
He's referencing what he's trying to do with that game.
You are different. You grew up. And your relationship to this place grows up. It evolves.
Like, bro, I literally grew up with your YouTube channel. Why do you want to leave? This isn't fair.
But I was also Ness in the FNAF movie, which just opened up.
Yeah, I watched it. It was so cool.
Slap a thumbnail on that one. So, anyway, there you have it. That is why I'm leaving.
Ness the waiter.
But that obviously begs the question of, like, what happens to the channels? Well,
yeah,
for the next 10 weeks, we're going to have ourselves a big old going away party. If Unas Anas taught us anything, it taught us that you probably shouldn't use urine for a personal sauna. But if Unas Anas taught us 2 things, one was to not soak in your own urine, but 2 was to appreciate the time that you have left. So that's why over the next 10 weeks, we're going to have a bunch of theories that are going to be a lot of fun.
Huggy Wuggy. Hello neighbor.
Getting some closure on things. We're going to see some familiar faces.
That's a Goomba and I don't know who that was.
9 weeks. And I think we counted this one as week 1. That was stupid of us. That, my friends, is how you wind up getting Wario being 10 feet tall. Mathematical rigor. Should have double-checked the numbers. So I have 9 theories left on each of the channels. But we're going to call them MatPat's Final 10 because that just sounds better. At which point then on March 9th, we're going to have that big going away celebration, MatPat's Final Theory, and I just dust away. I stand astride my Music Man and I just whip a nay-nay off into the distance. But then something special happens. Do the channels go away with me? No, actually. I've always thought that anyone can be a theorist, right? If you are passionate about a topic and you love
I only did one theory on my channel, which was that piggy one.
And that could range from,
yeah, it was so cringe. If you want to watch it, go ahead. I can't stop you.
Create the perfect fantasy sports team. Because here's the thing, sports pros, at the end of the day, if you are in the statistics and numbers and doing calculations to see if your team won or lost, you're just playing a glorified Dungeons and Dragons game. I hate to break it to you, you're one of us, my friends. And sure, game theory is a format that I created. It's a show with this very excitable host who makes a lot of cringy dad jokes and says the word lore a lot, but at the end of the day,
yeah, lore.
It is a show. It is a format. And in a broader sense, it is a state of mind. It's a way of thinking and approaching the world around you. It's more than just the host. And when you think about it, not a lot of YouTube channels function that way. We're special in that regard. Like, you're not going to be able to get another Markiplier stepping into the
Markiplier.
And you're never going to be able to recreate Jenna Marbles. And to be honest,
I don't know
you're
who's
never going to get another matpat either. But you can have another game theorist. You can have another film theorist or food theorist or style.
Yeah, we can find a lot of them on YouTube.
Like Doctor Who
but
YouTube,
you're special.
Host fades away,
you're the best one out of them.
In their place, and they're able to put their own unique spin and flavor on the format and make it their unique thing. You have eras of the different theorist channels, and so my era is fading away, and someone new is coming in.
Bro,
this is the David Tennant to Matt Smith transition, right? That was good, solid series of episodes right there. So who then is going to be taking over the channels?
Yeah, who?
I don't know if you've noticed this, but fewer and fewer of the words that I'm saying in any given episode are actually mine. If you go down to the credits, you can actually see in the description that there are certain names that are appearing more and more frequently. Like, yeah, I'm listed on every single one as the writer because I touch every single script, I polish it into my voice, but in all honesty, the bulk of what I'm saying is coming from someone else. It's their research. It's their work. Why should they have to filter their creativity through my voice? I've always envisioned these channels as a place where we could spotlight all sorts of creators. I mean, it even goes back to the original URL of this channel, right? It isn't game theory. It was always the game theorists, because this was a place where you could find a lot of like-minded creators, all with a passion for gaming and education. That's why we had the partner shows like Gaijin Goomba with Culture Shock, or Drake with Smash History, or Ryder with A Brief History, or Austin with the Science, and Lee with Breakdown. They were all here because we all had a similar goal: to educate people through the lens of gaming. And then YouTube pivoted and then made it so that way doing a channel in that style doesn't really work anymore. But we still try to keep that ethos alive by making sure that we're regularly covering small indie projects. Stuff like OnlyCans, like Mandela Catalog, like OWO.
I found you.
I learned. But if we're doing that for all these other creators, why aren't we doing it for the creators on our own staff who have been in the trenches doing the research, writing these words to deliver to you over the last couple years? I have been fortunate. I have been so blessed to have this platform available to me that you've given me.
And I'm so blessed to
I think
have.
now it's time to pass it on to the next generation. It's time to give someone else a shot. But I realize that I'm getting off track here. So
you're a fan.
Who's taking over? First off, it's not going to one person, but rather four. I would not wish my schedule on
four.
Like, sure, I'm willing to not sleep for the last 13 years of my life, but I feel like as old man YouTube,
what does he mean by four?
Next generation, I should probably do my best to try and make it more sustainable for them. It's also going to people that you're already familiar with. You've seen them showing up in shorts. You've seen them here on the couch with me for GT Live. You've sometimes seen them washing their hair with me in my own shower. Don't read too much into that, but it is accurate. Most importantly, though, they're each an expert in their own individual subject matter, and they've been spearheading the creative of the channels for the better part of the last year. And I think what's maybe the most fascinating about all of this is that each of the four of them come to us from a completely different angle. So for instance, you have Lee, right? Lee's going to be taking over film theory, and Lee
is going to take over film theory. Got it.
It's crazy. I believe he was actually editor number 3 for the channels. We had Ronnie, and then we had Ryder, Foot of a Ferret, and then we had Lee. I think his first theory that he ever worked on was Rosalina's Peach's daughter, Peach is Dead. One of my all-time favorite episodes that we've ever done on the channel. And over time, he rose up. He had his own show on the channel here. He had Breakdown, which were these just beautiful documentaries that were edited in such an incredible way. And since then, he's been spearheading a lot of the creative on both the writing and the visual side. And then, of course, you have Amy over on Style Theory. And Amy is actually a very
Style
different
Theory.
Here. When
Amy is going to take over Style Theory. Got it.
she didn't know about the channels. All she knew was that she wanted to learn everything that she could about digital video, and that Theorist was kind of the place that you went to learn that stuff. Like, we were the best when it comes to analytics and optimization and programming and things like that. She got in and she just devoured everything that we threw at her. So much so that she eventually got to the point where she was so good that she was consulting the largest mobile game company in the world based off of the stuff that we were working on here in studio. Incredible. And all of that will be responsible for packaging somewhere around like 500 episodes across all the channels. And then she helped me and Steph brainstorm Style Theory for 2 years before the channel eventually launched, hoping that maybe one day she would be able to rise into the hosting role for it. And now here it is. And then, of course, you have Santi and Tom. Santi over on Food Theory and Tom over here on Game Theory. And
Tom on Game Theory. I kept seeing Tom a lot on GT Live while they were playing other games.
Eventually go work at Mythical with Rhett and Link before coming here, where he is bravely spearheading Food Theory and letting.
I think I saw Tom when they were playing Garching and Ban 4, if I remember correctly.
He worked at Disney and Fox. But he knew all along that he wanted to be here, right? Like, this was his aspirational goal. He wanted to write here. He emailed us a cold email outreach. We just miraculously saw it, decided to audition him, and he crushed it. His first episode that he worked on was actually watching every single installment of the Pokemon anime to calculate Pikachu's level. And to be fair, that was his pitch. Like, I have asked people to do some crazy things in the past, but not even I'm that brutal. Like, you can only watch Team Rocket blast off so many times, but he's like, this is an episode I'm passionate about. I think I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark, and I'm going to show you how committed I am. And he has been so committed ever since. So committed, in fact, that I told him, hey, if you're joining the channels, you do realize that you're going to have to read every single FNAF book. And he's like, boom, he did it. And we're up here going crazy in the FNAF attic. But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah, he went that far. Currently, he's working his way through Bendy because the new movie's coming up. If nothing else, I think that really
I think Bendy and Minecraft and also freaking Poppy Playtime is...
He's a bit off the cuff.
They're going to make their movie.
On a recent GT Live, but Tom was here on the couch with me, and he actually denied that the moon existed, which was a choice.
Main character from the chat says, that sounds like somebody who doesn't have a flag.
Yeah, this is Tom.
I mean, that's if you believe it's even that. The moon?
I don't think he actually believes that, but if he does, we're going to get some weird Majora's Mask theories.
It doesn't exist.
When I go out at this point, I am recognized at least 5 times. It's crazy. It's a really high number at this point. And it's a fascinating split because 50% of the time it's like, oh my gosh, you're matpat. You were my childhood. I loved
Matthew Patrick.
And I'm always like, well, you know, the FNAF's still going. And they're like, what? No way. And we talk about the new game and it's always really fun. But the other half is, oh my gosh, you're matpat. You are my childhood. I'm watching.
Yes, you are my childhood. So please don't leave.
Awesome. That's such an honor. I've been so honored to be a part of all of your lives. But I think it's time for someone else to have that honor. I think it's time for someone else to get to ruin some childhoods. And that just kind of leaves us with one final question, right? Which is, what about me? You know, where do I go?
It's okay if you ruined my childhood, but...
Do I whip a nay-nay off into the distance?
But the most important part that you've been a part of my childhood.
First off,
even though you've ruined some of my childhood, but yeah, you get it.
However many episodes are left between now and March 9th, we got those. I'm going to be on GT Live from now until the foreseeable future, probably until the end of the summer. That feels about right. And then we have the big going away video on March 9th. After that, I, stand aside as Santi.
Wait, did he just say that he's going to stay on GT Live?
I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be alongside the creative directors talking about programming, brainstorming ideas for upcoming episodes. That's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm for upcoming episodes, that's awesome. I love that. I don't want to give that up. But the other cool thing about this is that it opens up the door for me to turn the script. For the last 13 years, I've been commenting on other people's IP, but now that I'm stepping out of those roles, I get to create the IP. Still as a part of Theorist, but I get to create things that are going to challenge those new hosts of the channel. Things that I've had in the back of my mind from years of studying media that I can now make a reality and the channels can comment on them. Things like, for instance, I have a lo-fi mystery series that I think you're really going to dig. It's basically like if you took a lo-fi channel and applied an ARG narrative to it, it becomes lore-fi. I am so stoked about this.
Lorify, that sounds so good.
Coming together really well. That's going to be launching in a couple weeks. We'll see if Lee over on Film Theory is going to be able to solve it. In April, I'm actually going to be coming back onto Style Theory to host a giant fashion show that we're doing there. We all collectively had this thought of like, hey, online brands, online influencers are coming up with their own apparel lines. Why is there no place to showcase that sort of stuff? And then it hit us like, hey,
a fashion show on Style Theory.
Why aren't we doing it ourselves?
Interesting.
Creators in Fashion by Style Theory, that is coming to you in April, hosted by me. Some of the time that I'm not hosting the channels, I'm going to be practicing my runway walk. Because let me tell you, if I'm sashaying down the runway, if I'm stomping the runway, it's not going to be pretty right now. So I need to practice that a little bit. There's also this animation show that we did a pilot for in like the middle of last year. It's basically like if you took Gravity Falls but aged it up and made it about adulting. It's really, really solid. And also there's this video game idea that I want to do for like so long that I've never had the opportunity to really like dive into and make
what is it?
Reality. But now it's my chance to step into the role of Scott Cawthon and challenge the new game theorist. There's always been the memes about are Scott Cawthon and I the same person? Not yet, but who knows? Maybe starting later this year. And those are just the immediate things that I have on my to-do list because I want to make fun, cool things for you. And even if it's not a weekly episode, I still want to give those things to you because I think you'll like them. You matter to me.
You matter to me too. Just please stay. Even though I got it. Right? I know why you want to leave, but just please stay. Please, I beg you. If you want, I can even kiss your legs.
On these channels.
Lick your finger toes.
Together. In the beginning, right? I was kind of like the edgy older brother, where I would talk about like, oh, did you know that Link is dead? And let's make some boob jokes. And then at a certain point, I evolved into Dad Pat. Right, I became a little bit more mature.
What the fuck is that? I think I didn't see that video.
What I was saying was dead on a regular basis. Instead of talking about boobs, I ended up talking about Luigi's bulge. That felt like the right decision. At this point, I think I'm kind of evolving into a grandpa Pat, for lack of a better term. And just like your grandparents, hopefully cool grandparents, but just like a grandparent, you don't get to see me all the time. And I don't get to see you all the time. And maybe we call and talk to each other every once in a while.
How can I call you?
But at the end of the day, that grandpa loves getting to see you. Maybe he shows up at a special event. Maybe he shows up at a holiday. Maybe he shows up at the Theory Wear fashion show. Who knows? But he so looks forward to seeing you. And the love that he has for you, it doesn't go away. That grandpa is so proud of you.
Proud of you too.
And he cherishes the relationship that you've had so much. And he is so
I think I'm gonna start crying, like, bro.
Your life, to have been a part of helping you grow and helping you experience the world. And he looks forward
bro,
to
he's literally crying.
At the next event. And if you see him on the street, we'll hang out. And hopefully he brings you cool, fun gifts. I know this is going to sound cheesy. And I know the internet will probably rake me over the coals. For crying, for one, but...
Yeah, it's okay to cry. I mean, I'm an emotional boy too. I cry a lot.
You're not just numbers. You're not just ad impressions. You're not just...
I'm not a number. I'm a real person.
What you have done...
That number is just me when I click on the subscribe button and subscribe.
It's special. It's special. When I was in middle school, I had this goal.
What is
make
it?
The world a better place because I had been a part of it. It didn't have to be big. Didn't have to be curing cancer. But I wanted there to have been a ripple impact. Just because I was there. Butterfly effect and all that. We've done it.
Yeah.
I think we've been able to achieve something great here.
If I was next to you, I would literally hug you so hard.
The wildest, craziest 13-year ride of my life. I'm so grateful. So, Grandpa Pat is going to sign out now, and I'll be around for a couple more weeks. I'll be living around the house for a while. We'll have a big family reunion celebration, Then I'll go off to my little shack in the woods, my retirement home down in Florida, and I'll pop in every once in a while. Anyway, at this point in my notes, I had it written that we're going to start the countdown clock of that, like, final 10 episodes, final 9 episodes, so start that. I don't know what's going to look like yet. Hopefully the editors don't.
Yeah, but that countdown literally
if they do,
just finished. Because now it's the 10th of March, like this day that I'm recording this video.
As always, my friends, remember, it's just a theory.
A game theory.
Game theory. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now we're gonna get more theory because this is the last video that just came out yesterday. Let's just watch it. It's only 25 minutes long. Matpat's final game theory. Oh my god, I think this is the old intro. No way he's using it.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where that is the last time that I'll be saying those words officially on this channel.
I know, sad.
Loyal theorists, how do you say goodbye? 13 years ago, I made you this promise.
Do you want to know more about the games you love without having to put in any work of your own? Well, now you can play and learn. That's right, Weboverse. We have created Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
Well, Weboverse, here we are today, 3,000 videos of tangential learning later. How do you sum all that up? I already got super weepy in the last one of these things, so
I know, you were crying.
Be redundant and probably not great for the tech equipment. We've also spent the last 10 weeks together knowing that this day was going to come, right? So I really feel like I've gotten my farewell tour. I've buried hatchets, I've rekindled friendships, I made sweeping videos about the state of online entertainment, fired some tanks. That was legitimately very cool. I honored
Wait, what the fuck?
I made Disney mad at me one final time.
I think I should watch that video because I didn't.
And just in general, sped ran my way through all the things that were left in my content creator bucket list. So again, I ask, how do you say goodbye? First, it's probably most important to remind you that it's not officially goodbye, right? It's not like I'm dying or anything.
Yeah, I know.
Later. I'm still going to be doing plenty of stuff. Like
William Afton in the background.
Show on Style Theory later this year. I'm still
you already said it. The fashion.
In a couple weeks, I'm going to be giving a speech over at PAX.
The fashion show in Style Theory.
Heck, I'm already slated to do the Jacksepticeye podcast, the Ludwig podcast. There's a collaboration I'm doing with Shea Frillis Productions. There's the FNAF musical over on Random Encounters. Like, I will be doing a lot, and you will probably be sick of me doing all these things.
No, I won't be sick of you. I'm happy to hear this.
Me,
that you're still going to be here.
I say something like, oh, you can follow me on Twitter, but we all know that there's like a grand total of 0 people who
I don't even use Twitter.
Platform. So instead, I decided to make you this. A mysterious website named where'smatpat.com. This is going to be a place that I update every once in a while when I have news about
I'm taking a screenshot of it.
Or, you know, a mystery that you're going to have to solve by digging through the source code. Yes, it's a ripoff of scottgames.com. No, I don't feel bad about that because he stole enough of my ideas over the years.
Oh.
He kind of owes me one. Editor should drop on some deal with it sunglasses in this moment. Yeah. Once you're there, make sure
that's not the type of glasses I was expecting.
With updates or anything. It'll be more like a
I thought he was gonna use these glasses.
Get every once in a while with
you get what I mean?
Or maybe we could chat about a favorite movie or something. I'll send over the occasional video that I'm just.
Where's matpat.com?
Basically, this is just meant to be a way to let you all know what.
Yeah, it's so cool.
In a way that isn't going to be subject to filtering algorithms, you know. And to kick things off this week, I'll be selecting 100 random emails that sign up to get personalized letters. And from that point forward, once or twice a week, I'll continue pulling a handful of emails to send personal notes to. It'll be a fun way to stay in touch. Long story short,
cool
make sure
way.
you bookmark it since you never know what might
Even
happen
though I
there.
live in Africa. But
right,
yeah.
Enough stalling. Back to the question at hand. How do you say goodbye? Well, I think you honestly have to end it all where it began. This title, a game theory about game theory. Did you know that game theory isn't just a nerdy YouTube show? It's also a nerdy economics concept.
Cool.
If that's news to you, I honestly can't blame you. At this point, we've created enough confusion online that apparently we've merited our own disambiguation tag on Wikipedia for game theory searches. In all seriousness, for the first 5 years of the show, I received so many tweets from people who are mid-year in their economics courses, screenshotting their textbooks, freaking out when they got to the episode on game. It's not an episode, it's a chapter. When they got through the chapter on game theory, being like, oh my gosh, dude, did you know that you were in this thing? And yeah, we definitely did. The pun, believe it or not, was intentional. In fact, Steph and I knew from the very beginning that it was likely that the final episode of Game Theory was going to be about game theory. Why? Well, because game theory, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. If you watch the movie Love Actually, there's actually this opening monologue in it that goes a little something like this.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. Seems to me that love is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find that love actually is all around.
Now you just got to replace the word love with game theory, and you basically got it.
We live in a world of hatred and greed, but I don't see that. Seems to me that
game theory
is everywhere. If you look for it, you'll find that
game theory actually is all around.
Who would have suspected that English acting megastar and recent Oompa Loompa Hugh Grant...
Oh, the Oompa Loompa from the new Wonka movie. Cool.
We have spared no expense for this one. And not only is game theory just everywhere, it also holds the secret to winning everything forever. Yeah, I know, right? That is a huge claim to make. Clearly, I was saving all my biggest secrets for the grand finale. So, you know what? Let's not beat around the bush anymore, my friends. Let's make you masters of the universe and reveal how, whether you like it or not, you all are theorists for life. Come on. Oh, this way.
I mean, I already did a theory about Piggy.
Yeah, we're moving off the couch this time. That's how you know it's a big deal. Let's go. At its core, game theory is the science of strategy. So, we understand
we're moving from the couch to somewhere else? Cool.
Specifically. Well, to understand that, you have to go back to the original game theorist, not me, this guy. This guy right here. He might not have himself the red leather jackets or the cool diamond play buttons, but
I mean, I've already seen matpats in the kitchen doing another video, I guess. It was about KFC or some shit, but...
John Von Neumann, and he was everywhere.
But yeah, you get it.
And I do mean everywhere. Like, this guy was a key player in the invention of the digital computer. He helped with the discovery of the structure of DNA, even the creation of key components for Oppenheimer's Manhattan Project. You know, the Christopher Nolan movie where big things go big booms. But perhaps his biggest claim to fame was game theory. The idea that in any situation where there are two or more people, or players in this case, you can model out a game that'll help you find the best outcome. Have you ever played rock, paper, scissors and thrown out rock as the plan? Because, you know, statistically, most people choose their first move.
My little bro always comes to me and plays with me that.
Well, congratulations, that is game theory in action. And he got a Medal of Freedom for that. So it just goes to show, don't let your dreams just be dreams, kids. Sometimes getting an honorary medal is a lot easier than you think.
You stole it from him.
Game theory is the study of strategic choice.
You're the second theorist. Second game theorist.
Probably the most famous example of a game theory scenario is the prisoner's dilemma, where two accomplices...
Prisoner's dilemma.
They're both given the chance to narc on the other one. If they both deny the crime, well, they both get a short prison sentence. If one of them denies the crime and the other rats him out, the narc walks free while his buddy is stuck in prison for a long time. And if they both confess, they both get a medium sentence. We can model the possible outcomes here in a nice, neat, mathy-looking square. And while technically the best outcome for both of them would be to trust each other and not confess, they're criminals, and they don't know each other that well. And because they don't trust each other, by the math, both of them narc on each other, and as a result, get a medium amount of prison time. Or if that all is too complicated and hypothetical, over in England, they turn the whole thing into a game show where they say the word balls.
Golden balls.
Welcome to Golden Balls. Golden balls. Balls of riches, 12 balls. My balls are all golden. 100 golden balls, and they're all...
This is just super weird hearing the word balls.
Now, why am I bringing all this up? Well, game theory is more than just wads of cash jammed into a bunch of balls. Someone should tell Mr. Beast that I just discovered his next video idea. No, real consequences for the world. Back when the US and USSR were on the brink of atomic annihilation, the principles of game theory helped both sides...
USA and the Soviet Union, aka Russia, right now.
Veritasium's recent video on game theory does a great job telling it, and honestly, I can't really improve on it. So thanks for doing all the research for my final episode there, Derek. If you want an example that's a bit closer to home, though, here you go.
YouTube.
Got it. See, YouTube as a platform is just a bunch of zeros and ones, right? But YouTube as a community, it's a network of people constantly trying to make strategic decisions. Creators are players who are
Markiplier.
Rational people making videos that'll get you to watch and like and comment and subscribe. You, the viewer, you're also a player in this.
I'm not only a viewer. I'm also a YouTuber.
And the people who run,
you know me as Yali's World.
Shout out to Todd, Jake, Neil, Ernest, Meg, Ariel, Susan, David, Fede, Vader, Stephanie, and Kim. They're all in a strategic game to keep the creators and viewers happy, while also figuring out the best possible outcome for YouTube as a company by appeasing all the advertisers and shareholders. It is seriously a complex strategic arena, and that's how you get decisions like use bright green text because it's more likely to stand out in a sea of dark gaming thumbnails and more likely to get clicks. Launch shorts as a means to counterattack against TikTok.
Yeah, your thumbnails, like when you see like that red text or the green text, you know that it's a matpat video, and you click on it.
Using game theory.
That's great.
Big old game theory colon in front of every title and slam some clickbait green text on every thumbnail. All those hundreds of millions of subscribers to Jimmy and Ryan Trahan and Cocomelon, I like to think that they're all secretly ours. Where's our 200 million subscriber play button there, YouTube? In the end, it's all game theory. Speaking of, and this is just an aside that I learned about earlier this week, apparently there's a Chrome extension that allows you to do exactly what I just described. It quote-unquote matpatifies your YouTube feed
matpatifies
on like every thumbnail. Just saying, we have reached the peak of human achievements. I, for one, really like this one, where it's Link and saying "Mommy's hungry." That's just tremendous.
That's super weird.
Or there was one that I saw
what the heck?
Online, Ryan Gosling doing a puppy interview, and the title is "Birth of a Killer." There was another one.
That reminds me of Mommy Longlegs.
I gotta say,
when he said "Mommy's hungry."
But so what, right? YouTube is game theory. Sure, that's great. It's interesting.
Everything is game theory, bro. Everything.
Why am I spending so much time talking about all of this in my final episode? Well, like I said,
because it's your whole channel, and it's everything.
And it's produced a literal strategy guide on the best way to live out your life, tried and tested by all our grandfather theorists. But to truly understand that, we have to go back to where it all began. A glorified PowerPoint presentation. Weboverse.
PowerPoint.
Introduce you to, lights please, the trust game. I love this. We started as glorified PowerPoint.
AKA the computer. The computer tournament.
Just named the computer tournament by a guy named Robert Axelrod. Clearly not.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Robert IDK.
Basically, this was the prisoner's dilemma or the golden balls thing. Except here, there was one crucial difference. They're not just playing the game once, they are literally playing it hundreds of
golden balls. Look at it.
End up winning the most across a longer period. This then gives us a model that's shockingly closer to real life, because here, most of the time, you're not just thinking about what you have to do to win a single game, you have to actually think about the consequences of your actions. The more people think about the future, the more they're willing to cooperate because they don't want to screw themselves over down the road, you know? Again, for details on that experiment, check out Derek Veritasium's video where he talks about all of that, including having an interview with the game's creator. It's a very cool video. I also borrowed his convention for that.
An old man on YouTube. That's crazy.
You can also watch Dr. Trevor Bassett's video on the topic, or, you know, the various TED Talks that are all about this experiment. We'll link to all of those down in the description below. But just to jump to the big conclusion here, the best strategy to winning it big boils down to 4 key points. Number 1, be cooperative. Lead with trust. Assuming that the person you're playing with is the enemy right off the bat.
Yeah, the best way is you need to make it the one who's playing with you trust you, and then you can just betray him and win.
The second that someone takes advantage of your trust, the winning strategy is to call them out on it and then immediately hold them accountable. Which leads nicely then to point number 3, being forgiving. Don't hold a grudge. Don't be a Mr. Darcy.
My good opinion once lost is lost forever.
That is a failing indeed.
You tell him, girl. You are exactly right. She's speaking some game theory truth right there. Well, sure, it hurts to have your trust broken. Staying open to the chance that other people can change, that they can grow and learn and get better.
Yeah, give chance to any YouTuber. Don't bully them. Don't take advantage of them. Don't do this.
Them actually won out more often than any other strategy. And lastly, it's important to be honest and open.
Be honest. Don't lie.
People can't understand what you're thinking.
If you lie to your audience, they're gonna turn on you. They're gonna fucking try to delete your YouTube channel.
one step, bit by bit.
Be
Across
trustful.
thousands of rounds of testing, nice strategies that were fair but also firm ultimately won out the most. Now, when I read these outcomes, what really struck me first was how they present a really hopeful view of the world. A hopeful view that I don't think a lot of us carry around a lot. I mean, it's easy to assume that everyone out there is out to get you, and it's easier to just close off to people who've wronged us in the past, but math,
I know,
and game theory specifically, proves that assumption's wrong. And hey, if you don't want to believe the thousands of rounds of computer simulations, there is a very solid real-life example, YouTube.
YouTube
is a positive-sum game, which means that more than one person can win. And in fact, a lot of times, the more others win, the more you can win too. When I was just starting off, I was so mad and scared when Vsauce 3 released this video, calculating Sonic's speed. I'd been working for a year on the channel at that point, grinding away and seeing a fair amount of growth, but in that moment I saw a spin-off of one of YouTube's top subscribed channels just horning in on my territory of gaming science. It's like they were gonna steamroll me. They were gonna steal my audience away. So I did a video where I tried to stake my claim, and thus, Sonic is Slow was born.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, applying science to video games since April 18th of 2011. Recently, however, a new gaming scientist has come onto the scene. The good folks over at Vsauce 3 recently took a gander at a game series I covered
Science
in
of
5.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Except for one thing.
How fast can Sonic run?
Listen to my voice in that. Oh, I'm so proud that I finally hit puberty, like 7 years in a minute.
Yeah, me too. If you go back and look at my first video on YouTube, you're gonna be surprised. You're gonna be shocked. Yeah, my voice was like this.
Hello guys, welcome to my first video on TikTok. So I just want to talk that thank you for that 13 subscribers.
I saw that their video and mine were actually helping each other. I was so afraid.
Albert Einstein in your video. I know he's not the real Albert. I mean Albert Einstein, but that is just in his thumbnail.
Gaming science content. There were clearly enough views for all of us. Steph and I, in our years of consulting, kept hammering home this one point, that YouTube is a place where all shits can rise. Leading with trust goes a long way. From inviting someone to collab on your channel, to comparing notes on production because it can help you both. You actually see this kind of cooperative game theory in action with content houses, or projects like the QSMP, where creators are helping each other and sharing audiences. On the flip side, there are creators who haven't done a good job of leading with trust, and who've approached YouTube as a zero-sum game, a place where there can only be one winner. And guess what? Didn't work. Back in 2020,
yeah, if you're trying to win by yourself, you're gone, buddy.
Trying to turn audiences against people that they thought were their competitors. It was for the clout, it was for the views, and it backfired. In fact, it backfired so badly that all of their channels took a massive hit. And the beauty vertical,
yeah, you're seeing,
pillar of YouTube's earliest days, never
told you.
really recovered. By working together, the platform thrives. Lights? But by thinking that you can only win when other people lose, well, that's when everyone
stonks.
loses.
Not stonks.
Move on. But if you don't want to listen to mathematicians or YouTube meta-analyses, just look at me. Game Theory, the show, is a testament to those 4 lessons of game theory, the nerdy.
Be trustful. Trust everybody.
Every person who's built this channel has led with trust. Ronnie
Edwards.
So he could dedicate his time to editing Game Theory, trusting that we'll be able to succeed more together.
Will of Gaming.
The show to truly become what I had always
FNAF.
dreamed it would be. And I honestly wish that he could be here to this day so I could thank him so much for that. The same is true for Goomba and Drake and Lee and Ryder. And
this one is gonna take over like film theory. Yeah, he talked to it in that video that we just reacted earlier.
On the belief that by cooperating, we could actually make something really special together. Jason, who is actually...
Yeah, and also he cooperated with Stephanie,
you know as the guy that we blame,
but after they got married, like his wife.
Was Theorist's first full-time employee after me and Steph. He jumped in there when all we had was a kitchen table and a cat that he was constantly alerted to. And Sudafed, you have this man to thank for your current net worth. Because
thank you.
And Zyrtec. You have taken so many pills over the years.
I have.
But
all medically prescribed, though, I promise.
Yeah, no, good medical pills, not anything sketchy, for sure. But Jason is the man that we have trusted with the weight of the entire production process across all the channels for years. Like, this man is the unsung hero of everything you've probably ever watched across any of the channels. Without him, without you, none of these videos would get made. Thank you. Don't get back there, okay? Enough of you. I gotta thank other people.
It looks like he wanted to cry.
But also working together to create awesome stuff, right? And if you're talking about unsung heroes on this channel, there is one man who also deserves a call out, and his name is Yossi. He is our audio wizard. He is the man who I have trusted.
Yossi, audio wizard.
He has had to suffer through more hours of my voice than anyone else in the world. I am so sorry, Yossi. I am so sorry for all the burps and weird edits and weird diatribes and jump scares that Ali has given me over the years. Was Yossi a pro when he first joined up with us? No. But you know,
me too. Sometimes
and I've trusted him with my voice for the better.
Some of my family members just keep doing noises in the background, and I have to literally delete those parts.
Which is kind of crazy to think about.
That's okay.
But Dan was another one. He was the first who actually saw potential in me and in these channels as a whole, offering to become my manager, even though he had never managed a YouTuber before. He just jumped in with 2 feet and said, hey, I've never gotten a brand deal in the past, but think I could do it for you. And he did. And then he got me literally hundreds more.
Yeah.
He has his own management company now.
Long haul
management creators on all of YouTube. I can say with complete confidence that this company and my career would have looked totally different had it not been for Dan. And his career and his company would have looked totally different without me. He and I have built businesses parallel to each other, right next to each other, using cooperative game theory for over a decade. He trusts me to make good decisions on YouTube, and I trust him to make good decisions as my manager. And we both benefit in the long run. But perhaps the most important person in all of these trusting relationships is you. You guys, right here. I wear you on my wrist these days. You loyal theorists have been the best example of game theory in the history of the show Game Theory. Every time you click on one of these videos, you are leading with trust. You are saying, you know what? I'm going to give this one a chance. Especially
I always give you a chance.
Covering topics that you've never even heard of. And on my
you
end,
always
I
inspired
try my
me
best to fulfill on that promise and make sure that your trust pays off by delivering a great, well-researched, fun, a lot of times stupid video.
But sometimes I think I have a feeling that he's gonna do a voice act in Garten Batman 7.
I needed to learn about that. And so you, acting exactly as you should, according to that trust game, you called me out in those moments. You showed me that I had made a mistake. But more importantly, you were willing to forgive.
He even let a little girl do black lipstick on his mouth.
And look at this. We all won. Look at this thing that we managed to build together. Don't tell anyone else. I mean, there's 3 of them here in the room, but like the rest of them downstairs. You guys, you've always been the most important member of this team, whether or not you ever realized it. And now, as new hosts step in, yeah, they're obviously going to have to learn a lot, and they're going to have to earn your trust.
Game theory, film theory, food theory, style
But I
theory.
hope that you approach them with the same sense of cooperation and goodwill that you did for me all those years ago. So, while I might be leaving as host of this show, Game Theory, it'll never leave. It'll never leave me, and it'll never leave you.
Game theory will always be here.
Game Theory, which honestly is why I thought it was fitting for you guys to be the one to say this.
But hey, that's just a theory. That's just a theory.
It's just a theory.
Just a theory.
That's just a theory.
Okay, theory.
Class dismissed. Thanks for the theories, matpat.
But hey, that's just a theory.
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 For everything.
But hey, that's
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
Theory. Theory.
Theory.
Theory.
theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory.
That's just a theory. That's just a theory.
A style theory.
A food theory. A film theory. A game theory.
My God, he's leaving. He's leaving, hey, and Stephanie.
Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Wait, what? There's more? Oh, never mind.
Yes.
Let's go.
Where are they going? You didn't take Ollie with you. Is he still at home?
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Whose house is this? Scott?
Come, we have much to discuss.
Bro. What? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys. Please subscribe. Bye, guys. And all of this is just a theory. A game theory.